Okay, so this is my custom UCS Slave 1. I forget the piece count, but that doesn't really matter considering I have added my own features to this set. So first things first, let's look at the minifigs. Here we've got Boba Fett and my custom Boba Fett, Mandalorian with his brick arms, Mandalorian pulse rifle, and we have Grogu. Okay, so we're gonna start with I guess we'll start with these little guns on the side here. These are like the repeating cannons, while this thing right here is this panel slides away and there's an ion cannon underneath. I'm not gonna slide these panels out right now because the droid arms that hold them are kind of sensitive and they will snap easily, so that's why I dare not open those. But yeah, as you can see, we got their little repeating cannon here. On the other side, we got it over here, right above the repeating cannon. This one's even more difficult to get out, so I don't want to risk breaking it. There is a concussion missile launcher in here. Now, if we come down here, you would see there are major changes down here. We have the cannons actually shoot now. I would actually, you know what, maybe I could fire these. I'm gonna point them up a little bit. They work on both sides, so yeah. Let me just, okay, yeah, that works. Oops, where's my little, oh, I see it, it's over here. All right. So yeah, as you can see, those work very well. They're a very powerful shot. And we're just gonna reload the cannon. It's a little hard to reload. There we go, snapped in place that easily. But yeah, the cannons there, they can actually shoot now. And if you notice under here, if you got an eye for detail, like I do, these are flip fire missiles, but they flip out like that, like Jango Fett's ship does in Attack of the Clones. As you can see, these are proton missiles, but they're just normal red-tipped flick fire missiles. You can't really flick them. I mean, you kind of can, but it's a little hard. But I think it gets the point across. All right, so if we go up, we already talked about those cannons. These rotate, and so does the inner cockpit, but we'll get to the interior later. We're gonna flip these around, and flip this whole thing around. And as you can see back here, you might see some changes if you know what I'm talking about. You would know, if you know the UCS Slave 1, you would know this thing was not originally here. This flap opens and out drops a bomb. And check this out, man. Custom seismic charges. I have one more of these somewhere inside the ship. But yeah, it's a little difficult to reload. You kind of have to time it right. There we go. And if you're wondering, you would see no difference up here. This is just the normal dish thing that's on the back of the cockpit of the Slave 1, but I did add a feature underneath there, and it was a lot of work to manipulate the parts to make this work. So what you do here, bear with me, I'm doing it with one hand. This slides out, and as you can see, if you know Lego Star Wars, you would recognize this piece from Jango Fett Slave 1. I actually had two Jango Fett Slave 1s, but one of them got destroyed, and I used this one from that other one that got destroyed to use as like a prison cell. I'm not going to show you the inside right now. Han Solo's in there. You can probably see him through there anyway. But yeah, I think it gets the point across. That's like a little prisoner area for Boba Fett to store his bounties. I'm gonna try not to break anything too badly here. Gotta put it back in place, so like so. And yeah, that's UCS Slave 1, the outer features. I'll be right back. I'm gonna take the ship off the stand here so I can show you the stand real quick, and then I'll show you the interior. I may or may not split this video up into two parts, but we'll see how long I can film for. As you can see, there's these There's the schematics of the Slave One. You can pause this if you want to read it. But yeah, it just hooks onto the back from right there. Anyway, let me show you the minifigs one more time. Here we've got my custom Boba Fett. He uses the arms from the Boba Fett mech. I have two of these figures actually, two Boba Fett mechs. So I have, don't freak out, I can change it back anytime I want. I took the arms off one of my Boba Fett minifigures from one of my mechs, put it on there, used the old 2016 torso, just normal jetpack, normal helmet. And I used the 2012 Desert Skiff legs because I thought they looked cool. And yeah, plus a brick arms blaster. And there's nothing exciting underneath the helmet. Just a, I'll show you anyway, just a boring clone head. But it works. It works for an unscarred Boba for the time I made this figure. That was before they came out with, I was working on this figure since before they came out with an unscarred Boba head that had the stubble beard. So, yeah. That's Boba Fett. He's not too incredibly special, but I like him. And here we got the Mandalorian. I'm sure most of you already know what his face looks like anyway, so I'm not going to take off his helmet because this is the way. He's got the Darksaber, arm printing, he's got his brick arms, pulse rifle. For some reason the stock broke off, I don't know how that happened. And he's got leg printing. And both these figures do have back printing, but I don't feel like taking off the jetpack helmet and head to show you. I'm doing this with one hand. And finally, got a little baby Grogu, that cute little baby alien. And now we get to the fun part. That's right, features of the inside of this ship. I don't know if you can be able to see this too well with the lighting, but let me take this off. Take this whole little cockpit piece, it just pops right off. But yeah, this is the interior. There's a lot to go over in this interior. So as you can see, there's a lot of major changes in here. I took the great pieces off the black 1x4 pieces that were originally on the side here and made it look like a ladder. Let me see if I can't brighten this up a little bit. There we go. Cool. All right, now you guys should see it better. As you can see, we've got a bunch of storage containers plus an extra helmet, and we have his hair right there, and plus we have some orange translucent studs for like. There's a stud shooter inside this thing right here, and a couple other guns. I made a custom stud shooter for him. And over here we got a Clone Army Customs EE3 carbine on the side right there because I thought it would look cool sitting there. And these crates all just have random extra guns and attachments for the helmets. And there's a pair of micro binoculars right there next to the helmet. And if you look over here, we come around, you would see I included a captain's quarters for Boba Fett, a little bunk. So that way Boba Fett has a place to sleep. Because what's a ship this size good for if there's no place to sleep for Boba? I mean, originally that wasn't there, it was just an empty hole in between this whole thing here, but I changed it up. Anyway, we're moving on to the actual cockpit. As you can see, oh, I forgot to mention, there's a reference to Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett right there. There's a Brick Arms Gappy stick, and over here we've got a green lightsaber stored right here for when Boba killed a Jedi and took it from him. If you guys saw that short film on YouTube called The Wrath of the Mandalorian, you know Boba Fett kills a Jedi Master named Jedi Master Karras and takes his green lightsaber and fights Vader on it on the Death Star. Anyway, we move on to the cockpit. I did customize this cockpit quite a bit. I put a chair in there, and if you move this back, if you move the seat rest, the headrest back, you can see this thing turns a little bit, but yes, it pops off. But it's got a little, this thing can turn on that little stud in the middle of that brick, that tile. Sorry guys. And there's a little joystick when Boba Fett can actually fly the ship with some control panels, a little place to store a blaster if you want, or maybe a comm link, anything really. And that yellow translucent button right there is meant to activate the seismic charge bomb dropper. And yeah, I think that's everything I can cover on this heavily customized UCS slate. But actually, you know what? Give me a second, guys. I'm going to show you what Boba Fett looks like sitting in the cockpit, although I do have to take off the head helmet and jetpack just to seat him in there. And I'm going to put his head and helmet back on. And I will show you what he looks like flying the ship. I'll put it back on its stand for you guys. You do have to store the jetpack somewhere, or in order for him to sit in his seat properly. For the sake of the review, put it right here for now. Anyway, bear with me, guys. Alright, as you can see, there he is in landed mode, stored with his jetpack sitting right there. The gun is stored right here, along with Boba Fett sitting in the cockpit. You flip this up. Oh, and that white storage container is a little secret, a little Easter egg I put in there. And there is a vial of clone DNA. I'll try to show you that real quick. Yeah, see, a little vial of clone DNA. Because if you played the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 from 2005, you would know Boba Fett helps the Empire take Kamino back and kill an army of rebellious clones. I'm just going to keep this out here for now. And he steals a vial of clone DNA, and I guess he keeps one of them for himself after destroying one of the rest of the clone pods on Kamino. Okay, so as you can see, I close that up, and now he's ready to fly. I'll show you that real quick. Move these figures over here. And here we go. There he is flying the ship. But anyway, yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe. And don't forget to keep it real. All right, bye, guys.